You have spent your entire life being trained to soften the word no, to apologize for it, to attach explanations and alternatives and qualifications until the refusal barely resembles itself. This video is about what happens when you stop doing that, and why the people who weaponize no against you have always known something you didn't. Psychological reactance, first described by Jack Brame in 1966, is the motivational state produced when perceived freedom is threatened or eliminated. When a person hears no, the brain registers the restriction as a direct challenge to autonomy and generates motivational energy aimed at restoring it. This is why forbidden fruit is more desirable than available fruit. The restriction increases perceived value. This mechanism is not a character flaw. It is an evolved response to resource scarcity, a push against anything that reduces optionality. In a social context, it means that a firm, unexplained refusal frequently generates more desire in the person receiving it than a yes would have. The no does not end the pursuit. It intensifies it because the brain experiences the closed door as evidence that something valuable is behind it. The difficulty with no is not logical, it is neurological. The anterior cingulate cortex processes social pain and anticipates the discomfort of disappointing or alienating another person. For people whose early environments rewarded compliance and punished refusal, the anticipatory discomfort of saying no is sufficient to override the rational case for doing so. The yes comes out not because it is the correct response, but because the alternative generates anxiety that feels unmanageable. This is fawning, the fourth stress response after fight, flight, and freeze. It is particularly common in people who grew up in unpredictable environments where managing others' emotions was a survival strategy. The adult version of that person still experiences refusal as danger, even when the actual stakes are a minor social inconvenience. Recognizing fawning in yourself does not require a dramatic therapeutic revelation. It only requires noticing when you agree to something you did not want to agree to, and asking honestly, what was I afraid would happen if I said no? Most people's attempts at refusal fail not because they say no, but because of what surrounds the no. The excessive explanation that turns the refusal into a negotiation. The apology that signals the door is still open. The alternative offer that was never requested and invites further pressure. The hesitation that communicates to the other person that the answer is provisional. A boundary that holds is stated simply, without hostility, and not repeated. I'm not going to be able to do that. Not, I'm really sorry, but I've got a lot going on, and I wish I could help. Maybe next time. The first statement is a boundary. The second is an invitation to argue, because every clause in it contains a potential lever. The reason simple refusal is uncomfortable is that most people experience the absence of explanation as aggression. It is not. You are not required to justify your decisions about your own time, attention, and energy to people who have not been given authority over those resources. Strategic refusal is one of the oldest social power mechanisms. The person who withholds approval, access, or reciprocation controls the behavior of people who want those things. Parents do this to children. Managers do it to employees. Partners do it to one another. The dynamic is the same. The held yes creates a pursuing energy in the person who needs it. You can identify this pattern by its directionality. If the refusals in a relationship are systematically one-directional, one person withholds while the other pursues, the no is functioning as a control mechanism rather than an expression of genuine preference. The test is simple. What happens when you stop pursuing? Does the person who was withholding suddenly become available? That response reveals the function of the original refusal. The most powerful version of a refusal is one that does not require defense. You say the word, then you say nothing. The other person's nervous system fills the silence with pressure that feels like it is coming from you, but is actually self-generated. The brain cannot tolerate unresolved social ambiguity and will attempt to close it through persuasion, through capitulation, through escalation. Your job is to stay quiet and let that process run. This requires comfort with discomfort, specifically the discomfort of someone being unhappy with your answer. Most people cannot hold this. The moment the other person shows displeasure, the backpedaling begins. The boundary softens, the explanation emerges, the negotiation opens. Tolerating the other person's discomfort without rescuing them from it is where the actual strength of a refusal lives. There is a version of this conversation that is purely strategic, about power and leverage and control. That version is real, but it is not the whole truth. The deeper truth about refusal is that honest no is one of the most respectful things you can say to another person. It treats them as capable of managing disappointment. It treats the relationship as strong enough to survive disagreement. It treats you both as adults who can handle reality. The chronic yes, the one given out of fear, out of fawning, out of the anxiety that the other person's disappointment would destroy something, is a form of contempt dressed as kindness. It signals that you do not believe the other person can handle an honest response. It also guarantees that every yes you give is suspect, because it was never freely offered. When you begin saying no with clarity and without apology, the quality of your yes changes. It becomes meaningful, a genuine agreement rather than a capitulation. The people worth keeping in your life respond to this shift with respect. The people who respond with pressure or punishment were not investing in a relationship. They were managing a resource. The refusal clarifies which kind of person you are dealing with, which is its own form of valuable information.